Braun with Socially Now, your socially marketing company and campaign managers. And today's special guest is Mary Nicholson with Healings in Motion of San Joaquin County. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you very much.
I'm so happy you're here.
It is a delight to be here.
Now we actually met through a phone conference with a particular group, and you extended yourself to me, you sent me an email, and from there we're here, and we want to share what Motions and Healing is about, and about the stroke awareness that needs to be shared with the community of San Joaquin County. So tell us a little bit about what you do with the organization.
The organization really has taken a position to encourage better stroke care in San Joaquin County. There are certified stroke centers that are spreading all across the country, and some areas have as many as 30 within their geographic location. And actually California is the #1 place you can find certified stroke centers.
Wow.
But San Joaquin County is really behind in terms of stroke care and coming of age as far as having a protocol for stroke care. And so that's how Healings in Motion was established, to educate the community about strokes, and also to make sure that they're empowered with information so that they can start asking more questions about health care in San Joaquin County.
Excellent, excellent. Now, it's the beginning of May, and you were recently invited by the Board of Supervisors to San Joaquin County, where they proclaimed May 23rd Stroke Awareness Day. Is that correct?
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, what we are doing is having a day free to the community to come out and hear some experts about the different types of strokes that occur, which are the hemorrhagic stroke, which I'm a survivor from, and the ischemic stroke, which 85% of the strokes that occur are. With the ischemic stroke, 80% of those strokes can be prevented. And so the effort is to have the community outreach so that we can actually really educate people so they understand what triggers a stroke, and also what resources are available to help with recovery. Because oftentimes people may have a life-changing illness that is a major change and an obstacle, and it really isn't what it used to do.
I see. So it can trigger.
A stroke is triggered by smoking and
Eating
diabetes,
habits, diabetes, yes.
Right, those things. And so we'll be educating people on those things, and we'll have exhibitors there to share that information. But also what we really want people to understand is that we are the CEOs of our lives. We are the ones who have the responsibility. We actually have people who practice medicine on us, but we're the ones who make the ultimate decision, and we can do that being empowered with information and resources. And that's what Healings in Motion brings to the community.
Wonderful, wonderful. How long has it been in existence? Can you give us a little?
This is our 5th year.
So it's fairly new, and as you said, San Joaquin County has been a little bit behind, but definitely with this organization, they're catching up.
We are developing a really good relationship with the county, with the principals at the hospitals, who are now really understanding that we're steadfastly going to educate people and make sure that the patients are empowered to be able to make wiser decisions about. Well, one of the things that Healings in Motion does, we do several programs within our organization. We do our monthly lunch and learn programs where we bring in medical professionals to talk about various subjects pertaining to the brain and recovery. And then we have our annual Coach for Life's Champions Awards dinner and show.
Excellent, excellent.
And that dinner is an evening of dignity and respect for people who have dealt with change, who are surging forward, who are not just sedentary and becoming couch potatoes, but are fighting to get life back, And so there are people who help with that process. We can't do it all ourselves.
Right.
And so on that night, the survivors come out, but also salute those who help us in the recovery. And we also recognize a medical professional at that time who practices with the most current technological skills and expertise, but who also practices the softer side of medicine,
Right.
who is empathetic to the fact that you're dealing with a major change.
Right.
And it affects you emotionally, spiritually, and physically.
And it affects the entire family.
Oh, and
I mean, it's just not the
absolutely.
individual. It's
If you
everyone
are
else.
someone who is a survivor, who also may think that you're isolated and want to engage with others, if you want to talk to some experts and have questions, or if you're somebody who is inquisitive and maybe even in your mind wondering if you're susceptible to having a stroke,
Right.
or if there's something that you can do to make sure that that you're doing what you have to do to prevent a stroke,
Right.
for yourself or with a loved one. That's what we really want, because oftentimes when a stroke occurs, the person who's having the stroke doesn't recognize it.
Of course, that's typical. Yes.
Yes, so we want children, we want to make sure that the schools are providing stroke information about the warning symptoms of a stroke. And also what's vital is that people respond quickly when you start having the symptoms, because when you have a stroke, when you start seeing the stroke symptoms, if you're able to get to a hospital, especially one of those designated certified stroke centers that I was talking about earlier, if you are able to get there within that 3-hour window, you are able possibly to get a shot called the TPA shot, the tissue plasminogen activator. And that's a blood clot busting activator, and that can reverse the stroke symptoms. That is
What
crucial.
locations here in San Joaquin County provide that? Is there any facility here in San Joaquin County?
There is not a certified stroke center currently. That's part of the education process, but there are hospitals here that are now working on their certifications. So the Joint Commission who certifies the hospitals they have a certain protocol that you have to be prepared to fulfill. And you have to have either a telemedicine program, there's a tele-stroke program where there's robotics, where there's now you can have a robot at the hospital, and feeding through that robot is a neurologist from another location that can really listen to all of the complications and actually look at the patient and observe and make recommendations. And so we have come of age so that in rural areas and places where there's a shortage of neurologists, which is what is happening in San Joaquin County, you still have access to great talent.
Well, that's what we call a virtual doctor?
Absolutely it is.
Yes. So that's great. That is wonderful. So technology has brought us safety, okay, but at the same time the awareness needs to be effective as well. People need to be aware of this. So the 23rd, it's what time does the event start, or what time?
It starts at 12 noon. It's going to be at the San Joaquin County WorkNet building, which is at 56 South Lincoln Street.
Right.
It is. It's in Sacramento. Excuse me. It's in Stockton.
Encourage people to go to the website.
Absolutely.
And get more information. Make it an event for the family. Right?
Absolutely.
Which is what we'd like. Young, old, it doesn't matter.
That's
Correct?
right. And we also are going to have a fruit and veggie buffet.
The healthy.
Right. And we'll have water from the causeway.
Here we go.
And so we will have a really good time.
Excellent.
Feeling good about ourselves and taking charge.
And being empowered with information that could be critical to anyone, including yourself and anyone that you know. Mary, anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I really want to thank you for coming and actually sharing this information, because it's so important.
Well, I appreciate the information. I've experienced personally in my life family members that had strokes, so I know what it can do to a family. So I appreciate what you do and what Healings in Motion does. And the county's lucky to have this organization and you in our community. So Stockton and the surrounding cities, Lodi, Lathrop, French Camp, Manteca, Tracy, everyone, Mountain House, wherever you are, come out and support this particular event and learn some more, and it's going to be great. And thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
You're such a lovely lady. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.